Hello everyone, welcome to Cut and Sew Like a Pro Challenge. My name is Susan Fawehinmi. I'm the CEO and Creative Director of Wow Couture and the head coach at Wow Fashion School. Today I'll be introducing you to your first task, which is a corporate casual outfit. Now I'll be showing you how to draft the patterns and also how to sew. Now first, if you don't understand what pattern drafting is, you might need to watch other videos on my YouTube channel to know that, or you can get my book, Pattern and Freehand Guide to Cutting. You can get this book, Pattern and Freehand Guide to Cutting. Or also, if you are a master of freehand cutting, you can also use your knowledge. But I'll be using the pattern drafting method because we're going to be talking about other techniques that are involved in pattern making. So the first thing I'm going to do now is to draft the body's block. And the measurements I'll be using are shoulder 16, bust 46, waist 38, hip 48, full length 66, shoulder to under bust 16, shoulder to nipple 12.5, back length 18, nape to waist 17, sleeve length 26, then round sleeve is 16. Every other measurement, now it depends on the style. There's a measurement that you take based on style. Now I'll be drafting the pattern, and the things that we'll be needing for this challenge are, we'll be needing Mikado silk, which is very excellent for making such outfits. We'll need chantilly lace, because we'll be using it for the sleeves, part of the sleeves. Then you will be needing, because the design consists of two colors, so I decided to use red and gold. So then you'll be needing your thread, scissors, zip, and all you need to finish up the clothes. So first, to draft your pattern with the basic measurements that are here, okay, I need my half length. So my half length, I'll be using 20. Okay, so the first thing I'll do is to get my shoulder to half length measurement, which is 20. So let me just take this measurement. Then the next thing I'll do is to get my shoulder measurement. My shoulder measurement is 8.5 plus 3 inches. That's 11.5. So I'll mark that point. Then I'll drop 3.5 inch for the shoulder slope. Then I'll get my neck roundness. So I'll connect. I'll use my armhole curl to connect. Then I'll connect this point to create my shoulder slope. Then here I'll get my armhole depth. Now for armhole depth, what I do, technique I use, I divide my shoulder measurement by 2, then less half inch. So I'll get, if I divide my shoulder measurement, okay, I'm using 16 here, okay, it's 17 actually. So that's 8.5 less half inch, so I'll get 8. Mark that point. Then on this same level, from my center front I'll get my bust measurement. My bust measurement is 46, so that should be 11.5. So 11.5 plus 1 inch, that's 12.5. So I'll mark that point. Okay, before you get to all this part, first of all, get your bust measurement divided by 2. So that would be 23. So 23 plus 1, so that's 24. So because you're constructing the back and the front together, so just mark 24 up and down so the lines are straight. So I'll connect both ends just like this. So just connect it all the way. So I'll get my bust measurement, which is 12.5. So the 1 inch I added to the calculation I just did, my bust measurement divided by 2, which I got 23, then plus 1. This is the one I just added to the front. The back remains the exact measurement. The next thing I'll do, I'll get my waist measurement. My waist is 38 divided by 4, so that's 9. No, 9.5. 9.5. So mark that point. 9.5 plus 2 inches, that allowance, that's 11.5. So I'll mark that point. So I'll be connecting it together just like this. Then I'll come here, I measure my shoulder to nipple measurement. That's 12.5. Mark that point. Then from the center front, I will get my nipple to nipple measurement. If you didn't take it on the person, it's simple calculation you can do. You divide the smaller part of your waist measurement by 4. You get, so it's 9.5 divided by 2. So I'll be having 4.75. Yes. So I'll mark that point. Then I'll come here and less ½ inch. So I'll be having 4.25. I'll mark. So I'll connect. And I'll bring in my 2 inch dot that I added. Then I'll come here, I'll measure whatever you take at the shoulder at the nipple to nipple measurement, you add 1 inch here and bring it down, so that will be 5.75 mark. I added 3 inches to my shoulder measurement, so I'll mark it out. So I have my shoulder dot. So connect this way. Then now I want to get my armhole. So what I'll do, I'll first of all measure from my center front to the first dart leg. Whatever you get there, you jump your dart and continue measuring. So my shoulder is 17, which is 8.5, less ½ inch, which is 8. I mark that point. So I have my 3 points. But before I draw my shoulder, I will confirm my measurements again. From here, jump my dart and continue measuring, so that I'll have my exact shoulder measurement, which is this point. So I'll just put your armhole curve and connect. So this is how you have your perfect armhole. The next thing I'll do is to contour my side. Now contouring is a technique that helps you take away excesses from an area. So that's what I just did. Because if you leave this the way it is, when you finish sewing your outfit, you find that the sides are longer than the front. and it's not giving you a perfect fit. So you need to do this. So this is for the front. I'll come back to it to fold my dart and connect my neckline again, but that I'll do after I finish drafting my back. So the next thing I'll do, I'll square across to the center back this contoured line. So let me just mark and connect just like this. Then the next thing I'll do, I'll measure my back length, which is 18. I'll mark. Then I'll measure my shoulder measurement. My shoulder is 8.5. I'll add ½ inch and mark. So I'll use the line to connect. Then I'll measure 1.5 inch downwards for my shoulder slope. Then 3 inches for my neck. Now if you want to get your exact neck size, the calculation is your neck. If your neck is 16 divided by 6, the value you get, you bring it that value here, then add 1 inch to bring down. Or you can also use 3 by 3 as a standard. So I'll connect my shoulder slope. Then I'll get my neck depth. This is it. Then I'll connect using my armhole curve, just like this. Then I'll be connecting my armhole. Now to make sure that you're doing it right, just come to the middle point and measure your shoulder measurement. Mark. So connect this way. Passing my shoulder. Then the next thing I'll do, I want to bring in my back dart. So from here I measure 5 inches. Mark. Then from here I'll do my nipple to nipple measurement, which is 4.75 plus half. That will be 5.25. Then I'll come here, I'll do the same thing that I did here. I added 1 inch to my, so I have a 4.75, that's plus 1 inch, that's 5.75 mark. Then I'll draw in my dart ½ inch. So let me connect both. Then I'll be measuring my waist depth from the highest point to measure. We use 9 as a standard basically, but except the person is very small, or you can just minus 3 inches from your shoulder to nipple measurement to get a value to use. Then mark 4.75. Come here and mark 4.75. Then I'm taking ½ inch on either side of my dart. Then connect. Then I'll get my waist measurement. My waist measurement is 9.5 plus 1. That's 10.5. Mark. Then I'll connect. So for the last thing I'll be doing for the back, I'll contour 1 inch. And connect. Now this is my body's block. I'll be closing here. My shoulder that I'm connecting. If you don't do this, it gives you a bit of error when translating your design. So basically this is my body's block. From here I can derive any design that I want So I'll get right into what we're doing for today. So for the design, we'll be having it's a asymmetrical design, and it also includes slash and spread method. When you're working with an asymmetrical design, you need to transfer your body's block to make a full front so that you can be able to interpret the design. So the next thing I'll do now, I'll transfer this block and create my full front. Now in transferring the body's block, all you need to do is make a folded paper just like this underneath your pattern, and use your board pin to hold it down. Now I can use my board pin to just get the point that I need and draw the lines, or I'll just use my tracing wheel and go through all the lines. So I'm using my tracing wheel so that it will appear on both sides of the paper. So I finished tracing the front part. So the next thing I'll do, I'll just redraw all the lines. So you have to be now there are other methods of transferring. You can use a chipboard so that you can transfer it to form like a ruler. So just carefully follow the lines. I'll be doing the same thing on the other side also. Just carefully follow the lines. So this is what a full front looks like. So the next thing I'll do, I'll extend the top to blouse length. So what I just need to do is measure the length of the blouse. I'm using 27. I'll use 27 for the length of my sleeve. This is exactly 27. So the next thing I'll do is to get my hip measurement here plus the 2 inches that's allowance. So that's 12 plus that's 14. So I'll get my point. That's the mark. Connect. Then I'll contour 1.5. contour 1 inch or 1.5 inch. I can, with the aid of my armor cup, or you can either use this or use your hip cup to connect. So this is what it looks like. So I'll extend, I'll square down the lines. Now you can measure so that you, I think here is 4.25. Then you have to 2 inches so that you can get it accurately. I want it down to be flat, so that's why I'm doing it straight. I can also mark the middle of this point and connect each to reach that point, but I prefer doing this way. So I'll do the same thing on the other side. So I can just cut the pattern out. I can just cut the pattern out, just like this. Now this is what the full front looks like. So the next thing we'll do is, let me look at mine. The next thing you do when you are looking at the style, the question you should ask yourself is, where is the dart? So that you know the next step to take. So for this one we have is like a two-layer, like double-breasted. So for one part of it, I'll have a princess cut. For the other part, I'll have just, I'll be using my full front to create slash and spread lines. So what I'll do, I'll probably use this one for the slash and spread. I'll create a single one that I can use to do the inner one, but that one doesn't require some a symmetrical presentation. So I'll go ahead, let me drop the inner one first. So I'll be using this easy method to transfer my block pattern into another piece. So I'll just draw the neckline, just like the draw. Okay. What I just need to do is to use my board pin and create a mark here. So once I take it off, I just need to draw this point. So just draw your dart leg. Draw another dart. So this is my point. This is my point. So the next thing I'll do, I want to derive my princess cut. I'll just measure from the shoulder tip, measure 5 inches mark, because I want it to be like a kind of a bust here. I'll get my shoulder to under bust measurement 16 and mark. Then I'll mark half each on either side. So this is contouring method also, so that it remove all the excesses around the under bust. So what I'll do, I'll use my armhole curve. Now when you're using your armhole curve, let this round part always be at the nipple point area for better curve. So connect. It's still at the, you notice that the curve is going outside that leg. It's fine that way. So connect back to that leg. Connect. Then this line continues all the way. So it connects all the way. So the next thing I'll do is to cut through. I'll cut through cutting off that. Then I'll fold off the shoulder that. So you have automatically transferred the shoulder that into, so I'm going back together. So if you see that your shoulder that is now here after closing this part. So this is what, so I'll cut the remaining part out. Now for the neckline, I'm just going to open it a bit, let's say 1 inch, so that it doesn't choke, because it's like a turtleneck, as in a high neck design. Then here just ½ inch, here like 0.75, here 1 inch. It connects. You can use your armhole curve to connect to have good curve. So I'll be cutting this out. Okay, so we have our front. So this is for like the base pattern. I'll come back to the symmetric one. Then I'm going to be tracing out my back also. I'll trace out this back. Now this pattern that you do, you use it as your prototype. You don't destroy this one. You need to trace out and use so that you still have this one, so that anytime you want to make, you will have a prototype to work with. So I'll be tracing out the back. I'll be tracing out the back and extend it to the blouse length. Now I've traced out my back, so the next thing I'll do, I want to extend my back also, but because I've already cut my front, what I'll just do is to bring the side of the front and get the same same length. Just stop at. So I will just square across this. So the next thing I'll do is to get my also square down this line. Then from here I'll get the midpoint. I think I use 4.75. So mark your 4.75 here. Then connect to that leg. So this is my back. Now this is what I'll be doing now. I'll be adding my zip allowance of 1 inch here. I'll add 1 inch at the top. I'll add ½ inch here. And I'll add 2 inch here. I'll connect. This is way. So what you just need to do is make a tiny contour allowance here, just like a quarter of an inch. So this is the back. Now it depends on the style that you're doing. I can decide to leave this, or I can decide to connect both, or I create the same princess dart of the front here also. But if I want to do the princess dart at the front, so what I'll need to do is to transfer this dart to close up the shoulder dart and ignore it here. Then the next thing I'll do is to connect, measure the same 5 inches that you did for the front as a guide. Higher. Now, if you want to go by this and this, you find that it's giving you like an angle. So there are 2 ways to solve that. I would draw this line to my first dart leg and draw to my second dart leg, just like this. See? So automatically it's as if you have transferred this dart into here. So because if you do this and meet here, you will have error showing. So just transfer to the first dart leg and to the second dart leg. See that it has curved with that, and this is what you want. For this one, I would cut through the armhole. Cut through here. So of course I'll cut paper and block it. Now let me use this other pump. So just come to just cut out your pattern out. Cut off that. The reason why I added 2 inches here is for your back to relax properly, so that you won't be having gaping at the zip area. So this technique helps it relax properly. So the next thing I'll do, I'll line my neck to the neckline. So you see the amount I took out from the front. Just use the front and get it out from here and run it like this. I'll just cut the excess out. So this is basically my front and back pattern. So I'll be going into the symmetrical design. Let me keep this pattern out. Now the best and easy way to transfer your dart is to first of all transfer the dart to your bust point to keep it before you draw the lines where you want the dart to eventually be. So what I'll do, I'll measure 1.5 from the armhole point. 1.5 from the armhole point. So I'll connect to my nipple point. You know, in transferring that, you must draw your line to the nipple point, which is also the apex point, before you can successfully transfer your dart. So close the shoulder dart. So you see how easy it is to cut and transfer, because I've opened where the dart is going to enter. So I'll be closing up this down one also. Now this is what I'll do. So that's easy for me to Okay, so what I'll do, so I'll have I'll leave this one here because once I close my dart back, this will align. Let me just put this. So based on the style, I'll start interpreting. So the neckline came from this point, from this neck point, and down to the other armhole. So, you see why we needed to have closed this dart, because the line is coming across it for easy interpretation. So I'll cut this off. I will not be needing this part anymore. So the next thing, start drawing the lines so that I can close my dart. So the first line will come from here, from this dart. So I'll draw it into the armhole. Then I'll draw. Okay. Now let me measure. I'll do 1.5. Okay. Okay, so I'll draw this one from here to the arm also. Then this one to the nipple point, so that when I close this dart, it will enter into this line. So I'll start cutting through the line. Now when you're doing slash and spread method of style, don't cut it through, but cut it to the end. So I'll be placing another paper on there to block it so I can create my pleats. So I cut it to the dart so that I'll close this point now. So I'll put it around and block that. Now let me block this up. So I've blocked the dart now, so I'll just cut the excess out. Then I'll cut this to get to the end. So this, I'll block it back. So I can now so this is the open and this. So I'll then block this to the center. And block it back. So the good thing about pattern making is that you can see your progress as you're going. You see the right, what you're doing, you're making progress. So the next thing I'll do is to stabilize this. So I'll give allowance on each and stabilize it. So I need a bigger paper to place it under. So I'll start measuring each one to make sure that it have the same allowance in between. So this one I can't use here because this was a dot that opened up this way. So I'll use here. So I'm doing 2.5 inch for each. So I'll be going down. So just from the first one. We will now start measuring. So we do that for all. Make sure that it's flat. Now because there's a dot here, that's why this one is wider. So we're going to maintain this wideness. I'm just balancing it based on what the dot produced. There are two ways. You can either do it like this, or I continue the cut, or I want to do it this way. So this is my balance. So this particular opening with the pleat will be bigger, and it will make your bust area more balanced. The last one, just make sure that make it balanced. So the next thing I'll do, I'm apply more foam to that. Now just mark all the points so that you know where you will fold in. So fold them back. So the marking will be on the fabric actually. So I'm folding it back from the original form. So I'll cut the excess paper following your So just cut the remaining part. Cut the remaining part. So I'll be using, this is my fabric. So this is Mikado gold, this is the red, this is the chantilly for the sleeve. So I'll be cutting all my pattern pieces on my fabric now. So I'll lay them you can see. Now, since the trouser is the longer part of the outfit, I would like to cut it first so that I'll save my fabric. So what I'll do, I want to cut my trouser. The first thing I'll do, I'll get my length. The length of the trouser, let's say 44, because it's like a palazzo like trouser. So get the length, add your folding allowance, which is 1.5 inch. Then I'll get my crouch depth. Now, if you do not measure it on the person, you can use this technique of dividing the hip measurement by 4. The value you get. So I'm using 48. So I'll mark 12. Then from this point I'll mark, okay, I'm moving the edges. So from this point I'll mark 1.5. I'll mark the 1.5 also. So we have like an angle. Let's mark it all the way up. Then come here and mark 1 inch at an angle. Then connect. So at this point, measure your waist. So my waist is 8, which is 9.5. Mark and add 1.5 inch. That will be 11.5. So 1/2 inch for joining here and 1 inch for seam allowance. I'm not putting that in front. So here you mark your hip depth. So I'm using 10 to mark that point. Then come here and mark your hip measurement plus 1.5. So the hip is 12 plus 1.5, that's 13.5. Mark and connect to the waist. Then I'll get my knee level. Now sometimes you mix cuts. So I'm using freehand right now. I can also do that on paper and transfer to my fabric, or I can also do it directly to my fabric. So it all depends on the style that I'm making. So I'll get my knee level. My knee level should be around 25. So you mark that point. Now you can square this line all the way down. Let me use my longer ruler. Square it all the way down so that you can have like a guide. So at the knee level, get the middle point. So from here to here is like 16, which is 8 mark. So get your knee roundness, or you can just take out 2 inches from here and connect to the hip and connect down. Since I'm doing like a boot cut, just connect all the way down. The same thing here. So I'm starting my point here, then the same 2 inches and connect. Then square down. Now for this part, if you don't want to, I'll prefer a side zip because I want here to be flat, so I'll just cut the way it is. I'll be lowering here with 1 inch, but that will be after I cut my back, so I'll just cut out. Now you can use your hip cuff to connect the hip and connect here. This way I can get it. So I'll bring it. So since the material doesn't have any pattern or I can just flip here so that I can still save the material. So consider this part because you need like 1 inch here. Now the next thing we do, I'll be using my front to get the back. So from here, I'll measure 2 inches and mark. I will add back the 2 inches here. Then I'll add, okay, I'm supposed to add, let me just add that thing because I noticed the back turned out bigger a bit, so I'll raise it by 2 inches. Connect. So I'll connect this point down to, so they are on the same level. Now this is used to give balance to the back of the trouser, so that when you want to sit, it's not drawing down, it will remain at the higher level. Then here I will add 2.5 inch. If the person has like big bum, you can add 3 inches, but 2.5 is okay. Now make sure that this line is on the same. Why people have problem with their trouser is because they draw this line down. Once this line goes below, it will start giving you issues when you wear it. It will gape. So just make sure that this is a continuation of the front that you used to get that 2.5 inches out. Then raise this one up, then connect. Okay, as a guide, here measure 1 inch. So connect. So this is the back. So on the side, connect until flush into the body. Towards the just around the hip area down. So from here, connect. You see, this is like my 1 inch that I needed to add. So it's there all the way down. So I'll cut the same length. And the side, same. So it gets to the hip area. I'll just cut from here. So after cutting, I will then measure my 1 inch down and connect. So see and connect to the end. So I'm cutting it up. So this is my choice. Okay, so I can go ahead to cut. So I'll start by cutting my slash and square front. And note that you need to follow, for fabrics like this, follow the green line. Okay, I'm not done with this pattern yet. I'll come back to it. Let me start. I still have a bit of fabric. Let me see if it can accommodate my first front or the back. Okay. So let me use it for the back, center back. So what I'll be doing now is I'll be adding sewing allowance. Well, there will be no need adding to the center back because my zip allowance is already there. So I'll add half-inch sewing allowance. Now the reason why I didn't consider saving this fabric because no one can still enter, so I'll just add your half-inch all the way. Now, the rule is that you don't add anything to your shoulder measurement, but it also depends on the style that you're doing. If this, because of the sleeve is a structured sleeve, so I don't need the shoulder to be more, so I will just cut exactly the shoulder so that the sleeve can stand properly. Or if it was a normal sleeve, and because it's the high neck, I'll probably add half-inch to my shoulder. But since it's a structured sleeve that's coming on it, you don't need your shoulder to be more than what it is. So just add all your half. Now I've already added my exact zip allowance, so I can just cut. Now for the down, and just add your half-inch also. So I'll do the same for all the cuts. Now when you're cutting this part of your front, make sure you have at least 2 inches here. Don't try to say you're saving material and you put it this way. That's why what happens with this is that when you sew, your cup will be flat. You'll be wondering why is that way. It's because you do not consider your dart. So when you're cutting this part of the front, make sure that you bring out your darts. There's no need saying you're trying to save material and at the end of the day the work, it doesn't look like what you want. So take note. So put your 1/2 inch allowance for the armhole, no allowance. Now what I do is this: I add my 1/2 inch and I blend it back into the armhole, just like this. Then my side seam is 1 inch. Now because of the style that we're having, okay, I think it's fine. So add your 1/2 inch, your seam, 1/2 inch. That's it. So I want to finish up the design for the front. So I'll be slanting here and cutting it off. So I started from the waist to 1/2 length. So the next thing I'll do, I'll be putting paper on that so that I can get the shape. So based on the drawing, we have point. So let me make an imaginary hip size. So this one goes this way, then another one comes and goes curved also. Then the last one goes this way. Then I have to lock. Now this one will be like, so we have all of them attached to this point, so it will enter into the side. Okay. Now the next thing I'll do is to use this part. I'll measure what is here so I can get to the other side. So my 1/2 length here is 6 Okay, let me use this dot that is still together. This is 7, 6.5. 6.5. So I need to make here 6.5. So you see that it's extending more than it needs, so I'll withdraw. So that means I need to shorten this one and shorten. So this one comes okay. So this one comes like this. So I'll need to extend this. Take note of the line there because I'm using this one. This is So this is the extras. So I'm going to cut this piece and be attaching it into this part when sewing. So I'm going to cut. Now I'm going to do this 2-layer. So what I'll do, I'll use the tracing wheel to trace out the foam. So this one is like from under. Okay. Either you trace it out or I'll just get a replica just like this. Because I need something like this. Okay, so you see I've gotten, so I can now so for this one, this is what I need. The only thing I need to do here is either I make this go into the back for more aesthetics, or I just leave it this way. But I want to extend so that it gives that shape. So what I'll do, so you see why I said pattern making is essential, because you can see the progress of what you're doing and you can make alterations if you're not getting. If I was doing freehand and I've cut it on the material and I realize, oh, this thing needs more volume, I will have to recut another one. But with this, I can add my paper and draw. Let me put this out. So the way, the look of things, I need to add on both of them. So I need to go this way. So let me just I'll just add like half an inch here. Then here I'll add like 1 inch. So I'm doing it by the look. This is what looks correct. So, so I'll cut this other one. So the last one is this. to the last one. And this one can also come from, so let me replicate like for easy sewing. I'll place this so the hip needs to come out this way like this. So let me get so that it will be easy for you to sew. So this is like this. So the time remove this and so I've gotten my frame. Okay. So let me cut it off. Okay. So this is what you know, because it's paper, it will, once it's fabric, it will, can give like a flare-like effect. It will come down and make it stand like this, which that is what we want. Okay, so I will go ahead now to cut this one. All this one will be gold color, this will be the red. So let me cut. So after cutting, notch or you mark the point so you know how to fold when you remove the paper so you don't get confused. And note that I put 1 inch here because this is like the side seam. Every other place you put, apart from the armhole, you put 1/2 inch, or side seam you put 1 inch. So this is what, without this now I can go from the first just to follow the second to the top. This to this. Now I think I'll bring back my second. See that I missed one more. This to this. This to this. So once you place this on the other base, you see that it will, your room for your cup will come alive. So then I'll be cutting the other part. Note that in the trouser there's a gold part there. So I'm going to pick one, I'll show you a simple technique that you can use if you don't want to create. So this is the part. You know, Mikado doesn't really have front and back. So I'll be cutting it out from here and replacing it with this. There's two ways. I can just cut and sew to there, or I cut and join it back. Maybe I'll just do the cut and join back instead of me cutting it. So I'll just sew it all the way down. So let me pin and cut out. So I've pinned it the way I want it to be. I'll turn it this way and cut. You can either do it this way or you join, you cut and rejoin. If you want to cut and rejoin, once you cut this one, you place it on the bowl. Add 1 inch to it so that it comes back to its original size. Or you can add more than 1 inch, then what you do, you use the other side of it to measure to make sure that it is same. So the way this one is now, I can still move it. I'll remove the pin and move it when I want to sew. Then I'll trim off the excess on the side. So let me cut the other smaller pieces. Now mark the direction so that you don't get confused. This is the front, center front, so that you don't get confused when cutting. So this is the side seam. You know this is the up. So I'll be cutting double of each of this because I didn't want to turn the other. Now there's something that I can also do here so that this goes to the back. Now I can extend this to the back. Okay, you see, I'll need to add a bit to this one. Then I'll extend it to the back. So what I just need to do is to use tracing wheel to bring out this part. I'll join it to this one so that it will form like a flare. So what I'll do, I'm going to apply slash and spread method here to give it that flare look. This is what I'll do. Okay. Now I've traced this out from here, so I'll be joining it with this one. Okay, before then, let me do my slash and spread so that I'll create like a flare-like look. So apply it on. I'll join this with the front. Now when we sew and attach it back to give a flare look. Now I can add a bit of okay, so blend it. here and attach. Okay, so I'll cut each of the pieces now double because we'll be using one to turn the other. Now I've finished cutting this. You know, I removed this from the back, which is this, so that it will extend into the back this way. So what I want to do here now is to remove it from one of them. So what I'll do is I have to trace this one out again. Okay, let me just explain. I'll trace this one out and place it to get it out from here. Because this is not transparent, so I really can't see, or I don't manage. Okay. So I've gotten my line. There's 1 inch here, half inch here. So this is another. So you know, I would have added allowance, sewing allowance here. So let me add it if I was cutting. Sorry, let me grab it in. So this one will extend into the back this way. So that's it for. Okay, now for the sleeve, for the puff one, we're going to take 12 inches and mark. Now because of the way the sleeve is, if my bicep is 16, I'll add, this is 16, I'll add 5 inches. So it's already 5 inches. The allowance is already. So the next thing I'll do is to measure 5 inches downwards here and mark. Then I'll connect with slight S or slight curve. Now if you still struggle with your sleeve, you can check on my YouTube channel and there's a video for how to construct sleeve, or you can get my book, Cutting and Freehand Guide to Cutting. So I'll cut it out. So the next thing I'll do, I'll measure, let's say 6 inches downward and mark. So this is what I'll do. So I'll cut. So I'm applying slash and spread method to cut it almost to the end. Place it on another paper. Now the effect of doing it this way is different from just the cotton is high puff sleeve. Now if I don't want to, I can just withdraw and make it high a bit here and connect back. So just apply it to the system. Now when you pop, there's an effect this will give you than just doing a high puff method. So I'll be cutting it on the fabric now. I'm cutting it in that because all my allowance is already there. So we have our sleeve. This is the first sleeve. So I'll be cutting the other sleeve. For that one, I can do it directly on the fabric. Okay, so you fold to the size of your bicep. So I'm using 16. I'll just add 1 inch for sewing allowance. So 16, so 1 inch for sewing allowance. Then we'll have length. Length is 26. So I'll be using like bias to bring this down. So just make 26 and a half. So I'll measure my 5 inch. Now there's a calculation to do all this, but I can also connect as a pop. So then add this down, you get, I'll just use 5. Then connect. So this bigger sleeve will be on top of this one. So this one is like structure. So I'll be using crinoline and this down just to give it that round edge. And this will be gathered to the side of this one to pop up. So that's it for the sleeve. So we have our sleeve, we have our inner body. Now, because it is Mikado silk, you know, it's kind of a tough fabric, so I might not be lining it. So this is our trousers. So this is our extra layers and all that. So what I'll do in prepping for sewing, I can just only apply paper stay or hair stay on this part, just to give it fullness. Fine, I know the Mikado is thick, but this gold one is not as thick as this red one, so I'll just apply for firmness. But for this one, I'll cut a facing to turn this neck before placing it on the kind of bustier part. So that's it for constructing the pattern. So we'll be moving to the sewing stage. Okay, by now you should have understood how to apply slash and spread method. You should have known how to interpret a symmetrical design. You should know that your full front must be into place before you can achieve that. Then you know how to interpret some style like the one we just did now. How you can expand your mind, how to join pieces together. You see, I was able to attach my front and back to create this piece. Then you know how to cut your sleeves and the trouser. So I want to encourage you to continue learning and advancing your skill so that you can attract high-paying clients. It's only when you know what you're doing that people will pay for your work. Thanks for watching.